watching Sunday Sound Off with Frank Boal.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Sound Off, where you get to be a chance or get to be part of the conversation on everything sports. Tweet us your questions and comments using the hashtag Sunday Sound Off. Let's introduce tonight's panel. Of course, Soren Petro in the first chair there from Sports Radio 810 WHB. End of program from 10 to 2 on weekdays over there. Soren, how are you tonight?
Frank, I'm doing great. This is probably my favorite Sunday Sound Off because I get to be on with my former camp counselor, Stan Weber.
Oh boy. We may get a little something a little later on that deal. Okay, and of course, TJ Carpenter in the middle. He hasn't been to camp yet. TJ, on Sports Night on Sports Radio 810. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited that Stan's here. Also, I'm excited to hear him call that Arkansas-Kansas State game in a month.
There you are. That's right. Stan Weber, of course, pro and college football analyst for Sports Radio 810. Also the man who does all the analytics, or whatever they're called. Analysis. Analytics. That's it for K-State Football Network. Stan, how are you?
Doing great, Frank. Chiefs are on a roll. Royals and Chiefs good at the same time. And, hey, I got to tell you, Soren Petro, he's reliable like the Chiefs. You throw him the ball, he'll catch it every time.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Long time ago.
Gentlemen, here are hot topics of the evening. Is the Chiefs defense this good, or are they just lucky? Who will win the college football playoff? And number 3, who would you like to see the Royals sign during free agency? But first, of course, the question of the week. What does the win over Oakland tell us about the Kansas City Chiefs? Soren, how good are they?
Yeah, you know, they're pretty good. I mean, you win 6 in a row, that's for real. Alex Smith continues to not throw interceptions, but over the last few weeks, he's added throwing touchdown passes to the mix. You know, this game kind of reminds me of that opener against Houston. They take it away 3 times. That's been their MO. They had a couple of interceptions in 5 or 6 games leading up to this. You know, their go-ahead drives, their go-ahead scores, and the ones that ice the game were like 2 13 yards and then a pick 6. So really, at the end of the game, it was the defense getting it done. We'll get more into that, I know, in our next segment. But, you know, I think they're definitely moving along, and I think they're creeping up towards those top 3. Maybe not the Bengals, but they're creeping up towards the injury-plagued New England Patriots. You know, we'll see how good Brock Osweiler is over the long haul. I think they're making inroads there. I think they're definitely the best of the wild cards, with maybe Pittsburgh right there with them. But I think you got to like what this team is doing, because the defense is consistently taking the ball away. When they needed to close it out today, they closed it out in a big way. It was an ugly win, but a dominant one when it was all said and done in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I know Indy's not very good, but Pittsburgh looked really good tonight. TJ, how good are the Chiefs?
Yeah, I would agree. They're really good. And the thing that they've been able to do over the last 5 games prior to today's game is they've dominated in starting field position on offense and on defense. Their special teams has been a huge part of that. And so seeing them do it once again, but in a game in which they struggled with starting field position, was impressive to see. And as we know, great teams, if they can beat you when you don't play, or when they don't play well, that's a true mark of a really good football team, and that's what they're doing right now. Granted, their opponents aren't all great, but you saw Derek Carr today. He was able to make some throws, make some plays. He just couldn't do it consistently enough to beat a team that takes advantage of every mistake that you make.
Stan, what do you see in this Chiefs team?
Momentum is a big thing in football. There are only 16 games, and the Chiefs obviously have it. They got a coach in Andy Reid who understands how to get a playoff run going. Alex Smith's playing better football, and he's been through this role before as a 49er and even as a Chief. But I think one of the things that's helping the Kansas City Chiefs is they're actually getting a little more healthy at some areas that are critical. Eric Berry's a superstar player when you think about where he was drafted, but he didn't play that way coming off cancer at the beginning of the year. Now he's moving much faster. His hits are a lot more direct. And Dontari Poe is much more healthy. And then I think you look at Derek Johnson and Tamba Hali. These are the guys, the veterans, I would call them, that are the leaders of this defense that make them one of the best in the league. And therefore, this football team is truly one of the best in the AFC right now.
All right, we're going to talk more about that Chiefs defense up next during Hot Topics. You're watching Sunday Sound Off.